Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is a very useful editorial because there are a lot of words to learn and it starts in a positive note, born to win. Every day you have to make a note of this, born to win, and you have to look at it every day to get the required motivation. This editorial is all about Gujarat team lifting IPL trophy, the debutant team, and not that difficult to comprehend, but a lot of words. If you know the meanings of all these words, within no time you'll be able to understand or comprehend the editorial. So let us start the session with editorial vocabulary. As I said, a lot of words, and many of these words, not the regular words, they go with effective English. What is the first one? Top notch, an important expression. Top notch, of the highest quality, excellent, top notch company, top notch team, top notch, anything you can say. Part of speech adjective, it means what? Highest quality or something excellent. Debutant, T is silent, part of speech noun. A man making his first public appearance, especially in sport. In this context, it goes with the team and it also goes with a few players, I suppose. Clinching. Clinch, one meaning to hold something tightly, very tight. But in this context, it means to finally get or win something. Clinch the title, clinch the trophy means what? Win the title or get the title. Delirious is a new word we have got for the first time. Part of speech adjective. In a state of wild excitement or ecstasy. One more meaning, in a state of confusion. But in this context, you can take the meaning in a state of wild excitement or ecstasy. Finesse, part of speech noun, impressive, delicacy, and skill. Something that is quite impressive, we use this word. Brisk, this goes with, there are two combinations. One is work, the other one business. But in this context, a different combination. Active and energetic, adjective, part of speech. Brisk walk means what? Quick walk, energetic. And brisk business, someone does business. Brisk business means they sell the stuff very fast. Pricing, careful with the spelling. It is not the regular PRICE, PRISING. Part of speech verb. Obtain something from someone with effort or difficulty. Get something from, you can use the word alacrity. Get something from someone, not easily, but with great effort or difficulty. Scalping. Scalp, it is one of the body parts, the top of the head, we use the word scalp. But here, take the scalp off an enemy as a battle trophy. Usually it goes with the tribal people, scalping. In this context, taking a particular wicket. I think we have recently got chip in, an important phrasal verb. What does it mean? Contribute. You contribute or someone contributes, then we say he has chipped in or they have chipped in. Tepid, another important word, part of speech, adjective, showing little enthusiasm, lack of enthusiasm or little enthusiasm. We use this word tepid, an important word. Hype, part of speech, noun. They have created a lot of hype. If you read the newspapers, you come across this word. Extravagant or intensive publicity or promotion. Someone tries to exaggerate or extravagant or intensive publicity or promotion. We use a word hype, a lot of hype, but nothing over there. Dish out. Dish out means to take out or to come out with something quickly, to give or say things to people without thinking about them carefully. It has a positive connotation, it has a negative connotation. In this context, positive. But generally, dish out, it has a negative connotation as well, that you have to remember. Dish out is a phrasal verb, to give or say things to people without thinking. That means something negative about them carefully, without thinking about them carefully. Tussle, this goes with everyday English, part of speech noun, a vigorous struggle or scuffle, typically in order to obtain or achieve something. There was a tussle, they had a tussle. Stand out, someone stands out or something stands out, means what? To be much better than other similar things or people. In a crowd, you spot someone, he or she looks different, then you can say, he stands out in the crowd or she stands out in the crowd. It's a phrasal verb. You all know the word anchor, it goes with ships, but it has a different connotation altogether. Part of speech verb to make something or someone stay in one position. Anchor means to be in one position. That is the purpose of an anchor. Redemption, another important word, part of speech noun, the act of making something better or more acceptable. It has many meanings, redemption. Another meaning to excuse someone, to be excused. But here, the act of making something better or more acceptable. And chipping in, I have already given, repeated. Excel. Excel means what? To be exceptionally good at or proficient in an activity or subject. He excels in studies means he's very good at studies. H out. H out is a phrasal verb. H usually goes with sculpting, but here cause to stand out or be clearly defined or visible. Ah, that's very good, Suresh. Here, H means you make someone or something stand out or be clearly defined or visible. Resting, it is not wrestling. You got to be careful. Exactly. As I said, another meaning it goes with since to be excused, but in this context, a different meaning altogether. A wrestling is different, arresting is different. Careful with the spelling. Part of speech verb arrest means forcibly pull something from a person's grasp. In this context, you can say take the title from someone. Tribute, I'm sure you know this word. Pay tribute means what? An act, statement, or gift that is intended to show gratitude, respect, or admiration. Stumble, it goes with everyday English part of speech verb. Stumble on something, stumble upon something. Trip or momentarily lose one's balance, almost fall. You trip or you stumble, but stumble has another meaning that means to fail in a particular endeavor. Augur, an important word, to be a sign of especially good or bad things in the future, but usually it has a positive connotation. Augurs well means it's a sign of something positive. Allay, another important word, part of speech verb, it means diminish or put at rest. Usually it goes with allay the fears. Remember the combination allay fears means diminish or put at rest or reduce. You can also think of words like mitigate, alleviate, assuage, all these words. Bloated, usually this goes with companies, but here teams. Bloated means typical meaning or literal meaning. Make or become swollen with fluid or gas. But bloated means more than what is required. Imagine a company needs about 100 employees, but the company has about 200 employees. Then we use the word bloated company, means more than the required number. And in this context, it goes with the number of teams, 10 teams. Behemoth, an important word, part of speech, noun. Behemoth, singular, behemoths, plural. An extremely large and powerful company or organization or team in this context or players, it has another meaning. It also means a monstrous creature, monstrous animal. But in this context, not that, a very strong team. An important idiom, this has been given many a time, especially bank exams. Eat humble pie. Make a humble apology and accept humiliation. What does it mean? Eat humble pie. You say something, it doesn't happen, then you have to accept and you have to apologize in a humble way. Then we use a idiomatic expression. He had to eat humble pie. Do remember this is an important one. It has been given many a time. Blue chip, usually it goes with companies, blue chip companies. And what does it mean? Of the highest quality. It may go with players in this context. A rookie, part of speech, it's a noun, I'm sorry. A new recruit, especially in the army or police. A new recruit, in this context, a new player. Blitz, it's a verb, but I should correct it. A sudden concerted effort to deal with something. A sudden concerted effort to deal with something. So it has to be a verb. A reveal we have got many a time. What does it mean? Disclose or make public, reveal, disclose, make public. They all mean the same. Intrinsic, another important word, part of speech, adjective, belonging to something naturally. You can also say essential, intrinsic, inbuilt. Inbuilt also, you can think of that word. Heft means the weight of someone or something. Heft, it's an important word. The weight of someone or something, not physically, the power, the authority, the influence, that's what it means. To boot, regular word boot is different, to boot is different. There's a phrase to emphasize that you have added something else to something or to a list of things that you have just said, to boot. So that's a new expression, a lot of words. Now let us go to every slide. You have a lot of words. If you know the meanings, then you can understand, you can comprehend. Otherwise, practically very difficult to comprehend this particular editorial. How does it start? In fact, there's a book, I don't know how many of you know, and a lot of people, those who are very serious about success and those who are very serious about personality improvement, they read this book. The title of the book is Born to Win, an important book, Born to Win. Everyone is born to win based on the circumstances. It has many meanings. BOOT has so many meanings. It goes with computers, it goes with cars, it goes with so many meanings. But in this context, to add something to emphasize. So, born to win. In this context, it talks about the new team. The If you take the new teams, one of the teams, Gujarat, if you take the team, born to win. But what is the main idea of this editorial? Despite the drop in TRPs, target rating points or television rating points, despite the drop, means the number has come down. Despite the drop in TRPs, the IPL seems set for a long run with top-notch cricket. Now, initially IPL, now also it is very popular. It is popular. People are crazy to watch IPL. But sometimes what happens, the numbers come down. So based on that, despite, and you have to recollect, despite of is not correct. Despite, it does not take the preposition of, and in spite of should be written as three separate words. Common error, people write in spite one word, of one word, that is not correct. In spite of, three separate words. Despite the drop in TRPs, the IPL seems set for a long run. It is going to be there for a long time to come down the line with top notch cricket. With what? Top notch cricket, an important expression. Here, adjective of the highest quality or excellent, something excellent, we say top notch player. A debutant, here T is silent, team. Debutant means what? A man, or in this context, a team making first public appearance, especially in sport. A debutant team winning a trophy is a unique sporting high. Is a unique. You have to recollect the rule that goes with articles. Any word that begins with a vowel letter but has a consonantal sound, we use the indefinite article a. If you're not aware of the rule, you may think an unique. That is not correct. It should be a unique. Sporting high means achievement or accomplishment. You can also use maiden for the first time. A debutant team winning a trophy is a unique sporting high, something not expected, something that is definitely incredible. Gujarat Titans. So, what is the team we are talking about, or the editorial talks about? I'm sure you guys know Gujarat Titans did precisely, exactly, or accurately that while clinching the Indian Premier League title through a clinical display against Rajasthan Royals during Sunday's final in front of a delirious home crowd at Ahmedabad. There are a few words. First, precisely means exactly, and clinching, clinch, one meaning of clinch, to hold something tight, very tight. But here clinch means to get or win something, obviously in this context winning the title. Gujarat Titans did precisely that while clinching the Indian Premier League IPL title through a clinical display. I should have brought it in red. Clinical display means without any emotions and focusing on the act. Clinical display against Rajasthan Royals during Sunday's final in front of a delirious home crowd. They did it in front of home crowd, the venue. So home crowd, delirious. It has two or three meanings. One meaning in this context, in a state of wild excitement or ecstasy, because their team is playing in the finals. It's understood. And another meaning of the word delirious, to be in a confused state. That's a negative connotation, but here it is something positive, excited and full of ecstasy. Ecstasy also means a lot of excitement and happiness. So it talks about Gujarat team winning the title against Rajasthan Royals in the uh, in front of the home crowd. Summit clashes means the finals, except in rare episodes, can be tepid affairs despite all the hype. And the IPL climax dished out a low-scoring tussle on a dry surface. Again, every sentence you have a lot of words. Here, tepid means showing little enthusiasm. Adjective, a hype, part of speech noun, extravagant or intensive publicity or promotion, exaggerate or look at the number, someone has a number, 1 lakh plus. And dish out usually has a negative connotation, to give or say things to people without thinking about them carefully. But in this context, when it comes to sports, dish out means to perform, to come out, or to display. A low scoring tussle on a dry surface. Tussle means a fight, a vigorous struggle or scuffle, typically in order to obtain or achieve something. In this context, the competition, obviously. So, what does the sentence talk about? Summit clashes, the finals, except in rare episodes, can be tepid affairs, means not that enthusiastic, despite all the hype. Finals, usually a lot of hype is created. In spite of that hype, they may not be that exciting or they may not be that full of enthusiasm, and the IPL climax dished out produced a low scoring tussle. Low score, definitely not exciting, and tussle, a vigorous struggle or scuffle to achieve something. In this context, to achieve the title. On a dry surface, because of that low score. 130, definitely not a good score. But the credit is due to the Titans for remaining the standout unit through the tournament that remained anchored in Mumbai and Pune before shifting base to Kolkata and Ahmedabad in the concluding stretch. A lot of matches, initially a particular place and later a different place, it talks about. And throughout the journey, Gujarat Titans, they stood out. Here, there's one expression, stand out. Stand out means what? To be much better than other similar things or people. In this context, to be much better than other teams and remained anchored. Anchor, it goes with ships. But in this context, to make something or someone stay in one position. All the matches initially played in Mumbai and Pune, but later shifted to Kolkata and Ahmedabad in the concluding stretch, the last matches, maybe four or five. So it talks about the credit, though the finals not that exciting and not very exciting, to be very frank, low score, but credit is due to the Titans for remaining the standout unit, standout team. Means very good performance through the tournament that remained anchored. Initially, it was in Mumbai and Pune, later shifted to Kolkata and Ahmedabad in the concluding stretch, the last 3 or 4 matches. The league also offered some redemption for all-rounder Hardik Pandya, the Titans captain. There's one word here, redemption. Redemption, it has different meanings. One meaning has a religious connotation. It goes with sins. But in this context, it means the act of making something better or more acceptable. So it provided, when it comes to Gujarat team, Gujarat Titans captain, Hardik Pandya, it offered some redemption. He got a chance to perform better for all-rounder Hardik Pandya, the Titans captain. Often weighed down by injuries and the comparisons with Kapil Dev, Pandya finally turned the corner, leading Titans with finesse, scoring brisk runs and prizing out valuable wickets like he did in the final, scalping Josh Butler, Shimron Hatmeyer, and Royal skipper Sanju Samson. So he talks about Hardik Pandya and provides what exactly happened in the finals. The league also offered some redemption for all-rounder Hardik Pandya, the Titans captain. Let us not take a personal stand. We are here only to, Prasad, we are here only to analyze editorial analysis, not subjectively, objectively. And this is not a platform to express personal opinions. Whether the editorial is right or wrong, we are not bothered about that. We are here only for proficiency in English, often weighed down by injuries and the comparisons with couple there, definitely. So, Pandya finally turned the corner. That means he came out of that bad patch, whatever the problems, leading Titans with fitness. Fitness, an important word, impressive delicacy and skill, scoring brisk runs. Brisk means active and energetic, and pricing out, an important word, don't get confused with PRICE, that is different. PRISE is different. What does it mean? Obtain something from someone with effort or difficulty. Getting the wickets, valuable wickets like he did in the final, scalping, another important word. Take the scalp of an enemy as a battle trophy, but in this context, taking the wickets of Butler, Shimron, and Samson. Through the IPL's long summer, Titans always had consistent performance, chipping in without fail. And now he talks about the team throughout through the IPL's long summer, means throughout the tournament, Titans always had consistent performance chipping in. Chip in is a phrasal verb. What does it mean? Contribute something as one share of a joint activity. Here, contribution towards a team's success. Without fail means very consistent. In the final two, players cutting across skill sets and nationalities excelled. An important word, excel means what? To do well, exceptionally good at something or proficient in an activity. Be it spinner Rashid Khan or batters Shubman Gill and David Miller, while Hardik too etched a 34. So he talks about the performance, individual players chipping in and their contribution. H, usually it goes with sculpture and sculpting, but in this context, it has a different connotation. What does it mean? Cause to stand out or be clearly defined or visible. A 34. For Royals, Rajasthan Royals, there were expectations about the team wresting the cup, an important word. A wresting is different, a wrestling is different. Wresting means what? Forcibly pull something from a person's grasp. In this context, taking the title, for Royals, there were expectations about the team wresting the cup as a tribute, winning the tournament as a tribute. Tribute is an important word. What does it mean? An act, statement, or gift that is intended to show gratitude, respect, or admiration to its first captain, the late Shane Warne. So they thought of doing that, but based on emotions, things don't happen. However, contrasting information, sport does not entirely ride on emotion. Emotions, one thing, but skill set and the other team, the opponent, another thing. Sport does not entirely ride on emotion, and Royals stumbled at the last step. Stumble usually it goes with everyday English. What does it mean? Trip or momentarily lose one's balance, almost fall. In this context, fail, stumbled at the last step. They could not win, they had to lose. But there was no shame. Nothing to feel bad about that, but there was no shame. Why? As the squad did remarkably well until the final, with Butler leading the run charts, scoring tons almost at will. This year, I think he has got four or five uh, titles and cash prizes, best batsman, so many, four or five, I remember vaguely. But there was no shame because they did well till the finals, as the squad did remarkably well until the final, with Butler leading the run charts, scoring tons almost at will. Royals last won the title during 2008 inaugural edition. When it comes to, no, stumble is only a word, not a phrasal verb. When did they last win? Royals last won the title during the 2008 inaugural edition, and the latest comeback to the finals augurs well for Samson's men. Augur, an important word. Be a sign, especially good or bad things in the future, but you can take it as be a sign of something good that is going to happen in future, and it has a positive connotation, augurs well. for Samson's team, that is Rajasthan Royals. Another debutant unit, Lucknow Super Giants, careful with spelling, common error, GAI, not correct. It should be GIA. Another debutant unit or team, Lucknow Super Giants, also performed fine to book a last four slot. They could also reach the last four slot. The Titans and Giants stayed the course, allayed those fears about a bloated league with 10 teams throwing up forgettable cricket. 10 teams, people thought it may not, it wouldn't work. But based on that, the sentence has been written. The Titans and Giants stayed the course, means they played the tournament, allayed those fears. Allay, an important word, means what? Diminish or remove or put at rest fear, suspicion, or worry. You can also think of words like alleviate, assuage, mitigate those fears about a bloated league, an important word. The word bloated usually goes with companies, organizations, means the number is more than required. Here, bloated, literal meaning of the word bloated, make or become swollen with fluid or gas. In this context, it does not mean that. It means excess, more than required, 10 teams. Throwing up forgettable cricket, so not quite impressive. Instead, it was the established behemoths, an important word, means what? An extremely large and powerful company or organization. In this context, team or player, former champion teams, especially Mumbai Indians and defending champion Chennai Super Kings, that ate humble pie, an important idiom. Make a humble apology and accept humiliation, accept your defeat, and reiterated the surprise factor in sport. It's all about the surprise factor. It starts with that. India's blue chip batters, blue chip usually goes with companies, big companies, but actual meaning of that, highest quality, the best companies in the world. We use the term blue chip companies. But here batters like skipper Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli had a horror run. They did not perform well, while the success of rookie speedster Umran Malik, rookie, a new recruit, especially in the army or police, but in this context, sport, spinner Chahal and veteran Dinesh Karthik, who blitzed with a strike rate of 183.33, revealed that hope is intrinsic to the league. Again, a few words, a sudden concerted effort to deal with something, and revealed, to disclose, to make something public, intrinsic, inbuilt, belonging naturally, essential. So, surprise factor is always there. Hope is always there. They are intrinsic. In a year that will witness the ICC 2020 World Cup, the league was a selection primer. Based on the performance, they can decide the team, but a few worries remain, and those are centered on the IPL's commercial heft. Based on the tournament, now it talks about this tournament, IPL Premier League. Based on the players' performance, they can decide the players, the team, but a few worries remain, and those are centered on the IPL's commercial heft. Commercial heft. Heft means the weight of someone or something. Here, the commercial factor. The drop in TRPs hints at saturation. It starts with the same thing, drop in TRPs, hints at saturation. Every year, first time, people are excited. Second time, to some extent. Third time, maybe 10%. Same thing every year, year after year. Obviously, it reaches a saturation point. The drop in TRPs hints at saturation where the event and the organizers need to find ways to get back viewership. Here, the TRPs, the number has gone down. And how to get back the TRPs? They have to do something new, they have to be creative and find ways to get back viewership. Other than that, the league is here to stay with 10 teams to boot. So, besides that, the league is here to stay with 10 teams bloated to boot. What does it mean to boot? To emphasize that you have added something else to something or to a list of things that you have just said. A new expression we have got for the first time. That's all about this editorial. A lot of words, more than 25, I suppose. And what are the questions you can think of based on this editorial? What is this editorial about? What is a unique sporting high? A unique sporting high in the context of the editorial. Easy to answer. What can be tepid affairs despite all the hype? Again, easy to answer based on the key words. What augurs well for Samson's men? Rajasthan Royals. Easy to answer. Who ate? Someone had to eat humble pie. Who ate humble pie and reiterated the surprise factor in sport? That's all about the questions. Now let us go to so many words, but I can bring only, usually I bring 10 words. Try to find out the meanings of these words and try to write the parts of speech. That will help in the long run. So, chip in is a phrasal verb. What does it mean? We are running out of time. There is another session at 8:45. Important questions for bank exams, other competitive exams as well, and based on exam topics. So try to answer quickly. Chip in means what? It's a phrasal verb. Chip in. Contribute as one share for the success of the team or group or an organization. Answer is D. Excel, part of speech verb, means to do well. Be exceptionally good at. Please answer quickly. I'll wait for you guys. H. Be exceptionally good at. Very good. Rest is also a verb. Means what? Forcibly pull from someone something. In this context, the title, the cup. Answer is J. Tribute, part of speech, noun. What does it mean? An act to show gratitude towards someone. Answer is C. Stumble is a verb. It's a regular verb. Stumble means what? Trip or momentary lose balance or to fall, to fail, you can also say in this context. Augur well, augurs well. It's a regular verb. Be a sign of good or bad that is going to happen in future, but usually it has a positive connotation. You can take it for granted. Be a sign of something positive that will happen in future. Alley, it's a regular verb, an important word. Means what? Diminish fear or worry. You can also think of the word remove. Remove fears or worries, alleviate, assuage, mitigate. Answer is B. Bloated. Bloated here, adjective. Means what? Extremely large. Bloated. More than the required number. Behemoth means what? Bloated. I'm sorry. Bloated means make swollen. E is the answer. More than the required number. Behemoth means extremely large. Here we have to use noun, extremely large and powerful. In this context, a team, but it also has another meaning. It means a monstrous creature. A negative, it has a negative connotation, it has a positive connotation. Part of speech adjective of highest, the highest quality. I. That's all from today's editorial. Hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. And after the session, go to the description of the video and try to click